What's up, what's up, what's up?
Welcome to Nice Kicks Live, early 7 a.m. in Hollywood, live in Hollywood. I'm Dan Levy.
I'm Matt Hatfield. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good.
You got your Starbucks this week.
I finally got my Starbucks. Last week, what happened was I was rushing, and I was not able to get coffee. And I had to do a show at 7 a.m. without any sort of caffeine.
Yeah.
Luckily, sneakers get me so excited that I was able to power through.
Yep.
Sneakers are a drug in a way.
They are.
But this week I was like, I'm going to wake up earlier. I'm going to get the Starbucks. A crazy pit bull was like tied to like the fence and was just barking so loud and scaring the shit out of me that it woke me up actually before I even had my coffee.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
Well, I mean, that's better than having, what was it, a coyote on your front doorstep?
Yeah.
I
woke up.
We'll have to talk about that one.
Yeah, that was a nightmare.
That would be a nightmare. I mean, there are certain animals I don't want to wake up to seeing on my property.
Now that you're in California, have you found yourself face to face with any beasts?
A garter snake. That's probably the closest thing to a beast. But we had rattlesnakes in Texas, so I'm a little more. Yeah, and then the bats. That was one thing. I mean, I'm from living in Austin. We're known for our bats, but you don't come open the door and say, "Oh, good morning." There's a bat in your face.
Yeah,
and there was one there were two actually hanging just right there in front of the doorstep.
Wait, in Austin?
No, here in Irvine.
Oh,
and I was just like, "Oh my God, you are probably carrying some rabies or something like that."
Oh, so, what'd you do? Hit it?
No, I didn't. I don't want a thing to squirt rabies juice on me, so I just,
I don't even know what bats do. Anyways, we're talking about bats and coyotes, but what we should be talking about, like we always talk about, is sneakers. This is Nice Kicks Live, the only live radio show that deals with new releases, sneaker news, and everything sneaker related of the week.
There you go.
And it was quite a week. It was quite a week.
It was quite a week. And
we've been lucky because, can I just interrupt you for a second? When SKEE and you guys came up with this amazing idea to do a sneaker show, I remember driving home being like, this is going to be such an amazing opportunity. I can't wait to be on the radio every week. But I'm like, are we going to be able to talk about sneakers every single Saturday morning? Is there enough info breaking each week? And honestly, there's so much shit going on
we
that we can't even cover it. We can't even cover it.
We make these lists every single week. We're lucky if we get through it.
I know. We are prepped. Our producer, Allison, your wife, comes to us with all this information.
The boss, actually, yes.
He comes in, yells at you.
Yes.
and then we start the radio show every week. And we just can't even get through it all.
No, we can't.
I mean, even this week, we need to talk about it. I considered my luckiest friend. You were in the same room as Tinker Hatfield this week.
Yes.
Because of Air Max Day.
Because of Air Max Day. They built up the gigantic sneaker box downtown in L.A., right across the street from Umami Burger over on 3rd. And they had the gigantic box they had in New York City. They brought it out, but they revamped the box. And in the floor of the box, and these tubes that went up through it, they had some super rare pieces of Air Max goodness. And some of them came from actually Mayer's collection.
Really?
Yeah. So Mayer actually was there on hand while his babies were on display, and there was just some amazing heat in the floor with with glass over it. It was crazy. And then Tinker Hatfield was there, as well as Graham McMillan, and they talked about the story of the Nike Air Max Zero. And I, at first, was not the biggest fan of the Air Max Zero for one reason. Mm-hmm. It was the toe cap, which I had to ask Tinker about. And it was funny. After they did the whole presentation and they talked about the history of it and everything like that, I asked him about that toe cap. Why is there no toe cap? And sure enough, in true Tinker form, I was the only person who got to ask a question because he went on for 5 minutes about why there was no toe cap.
Why is there no toe cap?
Well, it was inspired by, he tried to remember as best he could because it was 30 years ago that he designed the Nike Air Max Zero.
Yeah.
And it was, he thinks that what it was is that at the time, Bruce Kilgore, who designed the Air Force One, the Air Jordan 2, and had a hand
Air Jordan 2.
Yeah, and the Air Jordan 2. And
I don't know.
Yeah, no,
not
my favorite. No, didn't work out. But the Air Force One, come on. Most successful
swing and a miss.
shoe. Yeah, swing and a miss. Yeah, right. That one was a grand slam. But no, Bruce Kilgore was inspired by Bruce Kilgore's Nike Sock Runner, which didn't have a toe cap either. But it was, like designed for like marathon runners and that kind of thing. So like Tinker went on more about why, the toe cap is something that's really good. And he mentioned that, because I think I mentioned in the question, like we didn't see no like normal form toe cap until the 95. Like it was that long that the toe cap was on the Air Max line.
Yeah.
So he went
on my Air Max day, I wore the 95s.
You wore the 95s?
Yeah.
Nice.
I did.
Which colorway?
Green.
Green.
Yeah.
Nice. Neon.
Neon.
Yeah.
Neon green. I'm teaching my son colors. That's why I said green.
Yes. You know what? I wish the
I can't tell him neon because he'd freak out.
You know what I want to see happen? Maybe I'm just going to have to do this myself. I want to see a Crayola box of like sneakerhead colors. Yeah. Like there's no pink crayon.
Infrared.
There's an infrared
Pharrell
one.
just did.
Huh?
It's a crayon box. What Pharrell did.
Yeah, what Pharrell did. With the Superstars. That's almost like a crayon box.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I was wearing the 95s. Sorry to interrupt you. And you were sitting there with Tinker, with the whole crew, inside a shoebox. And
inside
learning
a gigantic
about why.
shoebox, learning about the Air Max Zero, which I have so much respect for now, because this shoe was designed by Tinker. It was like his early on sketch. And then Graham McMillan, who was a footwear design director at Nike, and he told his story, which I don't want to spoil it because I want Graham on the show. And I want Graham to tell his story about how he got into working at Nike. But Allison's like, just tell him. But but Graham talked about how he went into the archives and found this old sketch, and then thought it would be a great idea to bring this back, and actually went to Tinker and said like, hey, we want to bring out the Air Max Zero, but do it with today's performance standards. So technically, it's not really a retro shoe. It's really a new shoe. It's just that a lot of the elements of it were sketched in 1985.
Right.
So
that's interesting.
Yeah, 30 years in the making. Here comes the Nike Air Max Zero.
And then you were able to get the Air Max 1, a 3D.
Yeah, 3D printed. They gave that in a little gift box.
Did you watch it get printed too?
I didn't watch. I saw one being printed, but that one was printed beforehand. So
it's very cool. Air Max 1, the classic. I mean, Air Max 1 for me is just a shoe. Kind of, maybe it's just because it's the ones, whatever. But the Air Max 1 and the Jordan 1, I find to be the most easy to wear two pairs of sneakers. Period.
Right.
Like I think you could wear Air Max with any outfit. I think you could wear an Air Max 1 with any outfit. I think you could wear a Jordan 1 with any outfit. There's something about these two shoes specifically that really are just like easy, accessible.
I'll have to add in two other Tinker classics. There's so many Tinker classics, but I'm going to throw in the Air Jordan 3.
Yes.
I think you can wear that with a lot of different things. Maybe not as much as the Air Max 1. I think the Air Max 1 is probably the most versatile.
Yeah.
The Nike Air Safari.
Right.
And you know what's also interesting about the Safari, the Air Jordan 3 and the Air Max 1 is they all use the same eye stay up at the top that Tinker designed. And Tinker had talked about how much he was into designing different eye stays and that kind of stuff. Like it was absolute nerd fest for me. Like
people listening, explain what the eye stay is.
Well, I'm talking about the eye stay up at the very, very top loop. And it looks like two Ds facing each other.
Yeah.
And you'll see it on the top of the Air Jordan 3, the top of the Air Safari, and the top of the Air Max 1. That was a common piece that was used across all three shoes.
Yeah, it's funny to think that, and I think the same way about all sorts of sneakers, but it's funny to think that the Air Max 1 was originally designed to run in. They were an Air Max Run, and now these shoes to me are just so cool. Like I don't want to get them. I'm not gonna get them beat up.
No,
running the streets in an Air Max 1 or or playing basketball in a Jordan 3. It's crazy, but to think that now. That's why I like the Flyknits. I feel like the reality is these shoes are now just lifestyle shoes.
Yeah,
for the most part. I mean, I'm sure there's some people who just sort of rock out in this Air Max 1, but I feel like if you're gonna actually hit the gym or run, you're gonna have a separate pair of sneakers just to beat up. And
I want to have
your Flyknits.
I want to have a throwback day where I just go to the gym and wear I'm gonna wear a shoe that's 30 years old for that intended purpose and see how it goes.
I always respect the guys. It's always the real, the jacked, cool black guys at the gym who are working out in grapes.
Yeah,
and I'm what is going on?
Dude,
it's amazing. I respect people who wear like amazing sneakers. That's honestly what got me to start taking shoes out of the box. Just because like I hated the fact that I would be at the gym and I'd see a guy wearing grapes and I would have 3 pairs just locked in a box in a basement. And like this guy doesn't know. He just thinks I'm this like weird Jew like on the elliptical and beat up cross trainers. And it's like, no. I'm cool, man.
Yep.
I got a collection. So that's what made me just kind of get him out of the box.
No.
That sounds awesome. So at this point, like, you know, how many times have you heard Tinker speak?
I can't think of how many times. Let me think. It's probably 4 or 5. Met him first time I met him face to face was at Nike Mag event. You know, it was like a select media group, and got to have lunch with him. And this was in 2011. So
awesome.
That was the first time I met him. We've exchanged emails many times. You know, about just random shoe topics, and you know.
And is he a guy? Just because I don't know exactly what's going on with him now. Is he retired now, or is he like still he's fully is he like semi-retired?
I don't know exactly the status, but no, he's very active. He's very active, and he's you know, without revealing too much about what I know on the inside, he's a very active man, and he's very
because I mean,
involved.
people I don't think even realize. I mean, sneakerheads do, but I don't think like the American public realize that he is like essentially the Steve Jobs of sneakers. You know,
I think that would be a great title. I mean, like he revolutionized so many things. Like people are like, oh, he brought air and made it visible. No, he also created this thing called cross training. You know, like he created the cross trainer. You know, he took basketball. He invented the mid-cut basketball shoe. Yeah. You know, he brought. He
looked at a fighter jet and said that should be the Air Jordan 5.
Yes. You know, there are so many things that he did that were so revolutionary that really I think that it is kind of a proper title to say he is the Steve Jobs of sneakers. I really do.
Yeah, I just wonder, I'm like, oh, is he still, you know, like guys like that. Also, you know, when you become that successful and, you know, so early on with Nike, I just don't know, like, you know, if you need to wake up in the morning and go,
I'm sure.
Think of ideas.
No, he does not need to. I mean, like of all, you know, he is definitely somebody who does not have to put in any more time, but he wants to do it because he just loves it so much. Yeah, and I think that's why the Steve Jobs parallel is like up until like just months before Steve Jobs died, he was still working and thinking and dreaming and innovating.
Yeah. So. And what sneakers was he wearing?
He was wearing the Air Max Zero.
He was.
Yeah. And so a lot of people, like I saw somebody hate on the colorway. I'm going to pull them out right now. That they were like, oh, it looks like a dad shoe being white and navy. But actually, there were 2 sketches that he did originally. One of them was this white and like, you know, lemonade yellow. And then this other one that was like white and like super dark, like ink. And that's what this is from. So this was one of the original sketches.
My brother is staying with me right now, and he wouldn't wake up to come in and talk sneakers, but he was staying up late. He was getting these shoes.
Yeah,
he was getting the Air Max Zeros. Let me take a look at them.
And the hang tag. As soon as I saw the hang tag, I'm like, oh, I know somebody who's going to appreciate that.
Yeah, look at this awesome. Let me show because we also recorded for nicekicks.com, Matt's site. But if you look at this amazing Air Max hang tag right here. I don't think these are dad shoes. I think these are dope.
They're far from.
And look at the inside.
Yep.
I mean, look at
one
that.
One of them.
I love that.
It's got Tinker's signature in the other one, 3/26 Air Max Day. Let me just show that up there for everybody to see. So,
now, are these available or are these gone?
I think they're gone. I'd have to take a look, but I'm pretty sure they're gone. They should be gone. I mean, they are so amazing. They're so lightweight, so comfortable, and it's definitely a shoe that. It's from the sportswear category, but in terms of tech, it's probably the most technologically advanced sportswear shoe we've seen.
So do you think people are going to actually wear these to the gym?
Or you totally could. You totally could. The fit on them is amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. Cushioning, smell. Of course, you had to do that, Dan.
Well, they smell so good.
They smell so good.
I love it.
Yep.
I love these.
So
all right. Well, I'm gonna have to hit up eBay.
Yeah.
And get these
or
zeros.
just hit up the comment section or hit up our Twitter handle whenever we post things up. There's a million resellers who are like size 11, hit me up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you got the Air Max Zeros or you just want to talk to us right now, if you're up in LA or if you're hanging out in NYC or anywhere else in the country, I'm at Dan Levy, DanLevy, and we'll also, of course, take in any tweets from at Nice Kicks Live. If you want to call us, we are live in the studio. Our number is 323
230
4445.
You're gonna memorize that one day.
One day I will.
You're gonna memorize it.
One day I will.
All right, perfect. Well, we're gonna go to break. Definitely give us a call again. 323-230-4445. See how I do it, Dan?
Oh, you're good.
I'm good.
You're better.
I'm good.
I'm still just smelling this Air Max. It smells so good.
And maybe that's why you can't memorize it.
I love it.
All right, going to break. Talk to you guys soon.
Yeah.
Throw. Yeah. Oh, that was Get Throwed.
Get Thrown.
Yeah.
Matt, you're not a good singer.
I'm not a good singer at all.
Not a good singer, but you committed, which I appreciate.
Yes, I am committed to that.
We tweeted out for people to call in. We tweeted out to call in.
Yeah.
Sounds funny.
Yes.
Very weird. We had people call in and tell us their favorite Air Max, what they wore at Air Max Day, what they're rocking today. I, of course, wore the Air Max 95s. What did you actually wear to the Air Max event?
I wore some Air Max 90s.
You did?
Yeah,
Okay.
which were known as the Air Max 3s when Tinker designed them. But,
Exactly.
you know, they when they retroed them, they did the 90s. And I went with... it was hard to pick a colorway, though, because I was like, what shoe am I going to wear where I know no one's going to wear it? Because, you know, there are only so many classics. And
I
you
know.
those are always going to be worn. So I went with just... With what I was wearing, I got the black Stingray that came out like in December or whatever. So I was like, you know what? This whole black-white thing I definitely like. And it's actually like an off-white. So it looked perfect with what I was wearing. So
The Air Max ones that as I've talked about before, I had to move my sneaker collection to the garage. So now it's harder for me to like pick a shoe because now I'm trying to keep a rotation going, but now with the show, I feel pressure just to constantly be wearing dope shoes. So I feel like I'm just like constantly running into my garage, and now I'm going to get divorced because now there's just sneakers everywhere in my bedroom.
You should see my garage.
Yeah, but my garage is like, so basically what I would do is I would go and in the morning I'd go, okay, today I'm going to like grab the Hair Jordans to wear on Saturday morning,
Right,
and then I'm going to grab, the Celtics, for Tuesday. And I'll like kind of think in my head, plan out my sneaker week. But then, shit happens and I forget. And then like, I'm like in the car and I'm like, oh shit, don't have the shoes. And I was thinking Air Max Day, I wore the 95s because they are my favorite Air Max. Mm-hmm. Even though they're a little heavy, those shoes are actually the best broken in.
Oh, they are.
Like I had a pair of Air Max 95s that I just wore to death, and they were so comfortable. But then I stepped in like the biggest pile of dog shit in the history of dog shit.
Oh man!
And honestly, I was,
it was like a Great Dane hybrid with an elephant.
Yeah, exactly. And I actually just took the shoes off and threw them away.
I had one pair that did that to me too.
It's like I can't fight with this dog shit.
No.
It's like you win.
You won. You won. You took my sneaker.
You took my sneakers.
Yeah.
So I got a new pair when they re-released, and I just haven't worn them enough to get broken in. But I would say the Air Max one that were released in like the Nike towns, I guess a few months ago, they're the blue colorway, mm-hmm. and they have that like banana yellow tongue. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yes, I do.
Those shoes I feel like people were sleeping on, and I actually find those shoes. Again, like we talked about Air Max 1, they look great with everything, mm-hmm. and they're not heat at all, but they're just like very comfortable.
What is heat anymore, though?
I don't know.
See, to me, I love that because I'll get flamed on IG when I post up my shoes. They're like, "Oh, you're Nice Kicks. You should be wearing heat." I'm like, heat is to me like what I define as heat. Like the hottest shoes ever. Guess what? They were general releases. They weren't collaborations. They were just fucking GRs.
100%.
Like, black, red Air Jordan 1s. I'm sorry. Those are one of the greatest shoes of all time.
Ever.
And they've made millions of them. So it doesn't matter. Like, you don't have to be uber limited or it has to sell at Flight Club for $2,000 for it to be quote unquote heat.
I'm so glad you said that because I feel like that's something that we need to talk about because I really agree. I feel like, the sneaker heat in quotes is really up to you. And I also think that for me personally, like we've talked about, I feel like the collaborations and,
collabs
it's
way overdone.
I feel like a sneaker that is heat is like a true sneaker that was worn by, a signature athlete And at the time when that sneaker came out, it was just like momentum, and people went nuts for that shoe
Or
and
that
that
it was-
person, and they're a great shoe and they're comfortable. You know?
And it has some connection to the person who's buying it.
Exactly.
Because to me, like, there's so many shoes. Like, you know what? The Carnivore. That's a shoe I fucking
love the Carnivore.
See, so many people hate that shoe.
Why?
I mean, it was only at the outlets for 1997,
Come on,
just recently.
I'll Velcro up my calf.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, like, a lot of people hate that shoe, but guess what? When I was in the 5th grade, I got a pair of those things. Now, mind you, that was in 94. They came out in 93, so they were on clearance at Big 5 Sporting Goods and still around in 94. That just tells you how bad they were and how much people hated them. But to me, that shoe is so significant to me because I remember I wore them all throughout 5th grade, from the start of the year through the last day of school.
Yeah.
Now, that neoprene probably just smelled horrible. But, you know, like, I wore those shoes every single day. And to me, that shoe is heat.
Yeah.
Because it connected with me.
100%. I totally agree. And that was the same thing with me and the Moabs. You know, now they're being re-released, so I feel like they're going to become a little bit more, you know, popular than they were. But for me, those shoes, I bought those shoes in the beginning of I think like when they were re-released in like 2002. Is that right?
2002, around there, 2003.
Yeah. And I remember I had them when I was younger, and then I got them again, and I just like loved them. And you know, when you wear them, you know, they don't look great. You know,
No.
with they're you know, the colorway.
It's Moab. They were named after Moab, Utah, man.
Yeah, I mean, they're really. It's like they only look good if you're hiking in 1993
With wool socks.
Yeah, that's really it. And they're honestly, let's be honest, like they're actually hideous, especially compared to the shoes that we always
They're the
talk
shoe
about.
that you don't mind getting dirty, but with red dirt.
And you could get dirty because their colorway is like yellow and brown and weird orange. Like no one needs that. But anyways, I agree with you. That is, well, we'll continue this conversation because I feel like that is a constant Instagram, you know, YouTube comments, tweets I get. People are just always
Where's
like,
the heat?
Where's the heat?
It's on my feet, fucker. It's like, it's me. It's my shoe. I've decided to wear this. It's heat to me.
When we did Kicking It, the great but short-lived.
We got to bring it back, man.
The nice kick show.
We need to have you just say, "I'm back, bitches."
I'm back. And people, all the comments were like, "Where's your heat? Where's your heat?" I'm like, first of all, fuck you, because this is my collection.
Yeah.
And second of all, we were getting the releases before they were released. So the shoes that were in the background of this on the set were, in my opinion, they were heat because they weren't even out yet.
Right.
So fuck you, internet trolls.
Yeah.
We had some heat.
We had heat.
We had heat. I did. I mean, you know, whatever.
They were like, "Oh, I can't resell them for $400. They're not heat."
I would even say that what people think are heat are not even heat. You know, like
for
like
sure.
especially, you know, like with the younger kids who like come out with like the, you know, the infrared sixes that were re-released last year, you know, the black colorway, and then the white with the plastic leather, which I didn't even get because, you know, they were painted. The infrared was painted like just so weird, so bright, not real. And everyone was like, "Look at my heat, look at my heat." And I was like, no, those are actually, you should be upset because those don't look right.
Yeah.
You know, like. Anyways, now we're getting on an angry tangent. We'll come back to this topic.
We got a caller. He's probably like, "Oh God, what am I walking into now?" Dan and Matt are angry and senile.
We're angry. We're not. Yeah, we're angry. We're not angry. I don't want to say we're angry at like the hype beast or any of those people. We are angry at the internet trolls.
Yeah,
who get upset about the heat, because I do think that sneakers, for what it should be, I believe the true sneakerheads came from nostalgia. When shoes started getting re-released, it became like a very big deal, and people started having these moments of like, "Oh my God, the Jordan 3 is back!" Erection, right? And that's sort of what started everything.
Well, and then also too, I think it also comes down, like, I mean, we can talk about Bobito days and hip hop and street basketball. There was a lot of sneakerheads when the shoes were first coming out, where it was, again, what you did in your shoes. Like, you played ball, you did b-boy dancing, you went to hip hop shows in the early days of hip hop. Shoes were like, your sneakers came with you everywhere you went. And I think that that's something that's lost because I'm not trying to dog all the trolls out there, but yeah, I will dog them. A lot of these trolls, they don't ever fucking go out. Like,
they just sit in their basement.
Sit in their basement and just troll. And it's like, if you actually went out and did stuff in your shoes, you would have a greater appreciation for every shoe that you wore because it was part of your life and it came along with you for the ride. But let's go to our call because he's been waiting for so long. Say your name. Where are you from?
Yo, Jake calling in from Miami.
Jake. Oh,
our number one fan.
First off, big shout out to you guys for kicking it and those green shacks you had. I don't know what kind of heat.
The Shack-Coys.
Oh, the Shack-Coys. Shack-Gnosis.
I like calling them the Shack-Coys.
Yeah.
Those were. I actually love Shaq and his sneakers, but I would say those are fucking hideous.
Oh, the army the army green ones. Yeah, not my favorite.
Not my favorite. Jake, how was your Air Max Day?
Air Max Day was awesome.
What was the Air Max Day vibe in Miami?
Air Max Day in Miami is great because, like other places, everybody brings out what I think heat that they don't ever wear. A lot of 95s and a lot of, I don't know if you can consider them Air Maxes, but a lot of people sporting like Roches and Frees and stuff like that. You don't see so many Air Max. I didn't see a lot of Air Max 1s, and I definitely, which I really wanted to see, I didn't see any Air Max 97s. My sister had a picture that she posted that was from her Air Max 97s from when they came out, and they were like the first $500 shoe or whatever that was.
Yeah,
well,
I don't love the Air Max 97s.
What? You just walked into it, Dan. Okay, so for those who don't know,
so my first pair of Air Max 90s that I ever bought was in NY at Undisputed.
Jake.
And they had those teal ones. I said, I need those shoes in a 10.5.
Oh, man. Cricket just
Jake,
got it.
Jake.
Oh, man. Sorry
that
about
was
that,
Jake
Jake.
in Miami. You're calling us from, I guess, I don't know, a bat cave because we heard nothing.
Yeah.
Call us back when you have service. We love you, Jake. We still need to hear about what Air Max Day was like in Miami.
So the Air Max 97.
Yes.
Okay, so that was actually how my wife and I met.
Oh!
We were actually talking about the
sorry.
Air Max 97 with one another on the first time we ever met. And 4 kids later, 10 years of marriage, things kind of worked out. So.
Wow. So that, okay, well, I take it back. So how did this happen? Were you guys both wearing Air Max 97 or?
No. I don't remember I don't even remember what I was. No, I was wearing the white and pearl, the white and chrome Jordan 9 lows and some like light wash denim Carpenters because this is 2000 or 2001.
Yeah.
And a white Jordan jacket, white and chrome Jordan jacket.
Nice.
So I remember that. And then she was wearing some all silver shoes. And then she mentioned that these all silver shoes reminded her of her favorite shoe. And I'm like, Air Max 97? And like exactly that voice, like Scooby Doo. And I was like, Air Max 97? And she was like, oh my God, you remember those? Yeah, I remember those. And then we just started talking. And then,
4 kids later, Nice Kicks Jr.
Nice Kicks Jr. Yeah, things kind of worked out.
Yeah. By the way, Nice Kicks Jr. is live now, and
nicekicksjr.com. Got to check that out.
It's awesome. And as a new parent, I would say it's like the most fun thing to go on that website and see all these cute kids, which are right now all the models are your actual kids.
Yes, they are.
So you see these very adorable kids in these sick outfits, and you get to be like, oh, I want that for my kids, and then you do it. It's great. So we should really check it out. I think it's an awesome new part of the Nice Kicks world.
Yes. No, and this is something that Allison, thought of, wanted to do, finally had the time to do it, and she got busy with the camera and the kids, and just, and now the kids love it. Like the kids, they love doing the photos, and of course the brands, like we reached out to the brands were all on board because before, like when it came to media and PR with kids stuff, they were reaching out to like mommy bloggers in Nebraska. And it's like, mommy bloggers are going to style their kids in a pair of Skechers with a an Old Navy shirt that we would never buy for our children.
Yeah.
And then they're like reaching out and getting Pumas. No. Like they're not going to style those kids right. So this is definitely from like a sneakerhead's point of view of like, kind of like what we would dress our kids in,
I will say though, and I wonder what you guys think about this, but obviously your kids are surrounded by sneakers because of what
all
you
the
do.
time.
But are you nervous that how much money this is going to cost you when they get older? Because right now they're still young and they want stuff. But I'm nervous for when like Abe, because I got Abe a pair of Columbia 4s for his birthday, which is in like 2 weeks.
Nice.
Which is a picture. They're pretty. Came in. I gotta say what's up. I mean, Jordan, like they come in a little gold box. It's so cute.
Right.
I was like, this is awesome.
Yes, it's like gift wrapping already.
And I was like, oh, it's nice to, even those Columbia 4s for a 2-year-old are $50. So as he gets older and he's like, Dad, like you have your
Dad,
garage.
you still got to do the show.
Yeah, you still come on.
You got to do the show to
I
get
still
these
want
shoes.
sneakers. So I'm nervous about that. But anyways, your son.
Oh.
Your son wanted to change his name to Michael Jordan?
Yes, he wanted to change his name to Michael Jordan.
And what do you say to that?
You have to be that parent. I'm learning the liberal parenting thing out here in California. You have to encourage it. You have to encourage it. You have to encourage the free thought. But yeah.
Unlike in Texas.
Like,
Texas,
what's wrong with your son, boy?
Yeah. Stay in the basement in LA. You're like, no matter, you can be Michael Jordan and you can transition to a woman.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, the caller is back. I think this
back.
is Jake again in Miami. Hopefully not calling us from a dungeon. Jake?
Hello? Yo.
Hey, we lost
Back in
you.
action.
So, you're
Ultra Music Fest, man. That's going on in Miami.
Dude, Ultra Music Fest. Worst traffic ever.
Really?
I can imagine. And I'm sure everybody's on Molly and whatever too. So cocaine.
It's amazing that people are allowed to drink in the streets here. I love it.
So now, basically, what you're saying is now Ultra Music Fest is in Miami, so people are doing Molly and cocaine, unlike when Ultra Music Fest is not in Miami, when people are doing Molly and cocaine.
Right.
Exactly.
So, have you been to the fest, or are you just focusing on Air Max Day?
Air Max Day all day. I tried going to Ultra, but I couldn't do it.
They had the 2 kilo minimum at the club.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, you can't. And that's the way it works.
I had way too much clothing on, and they wouldn't let me in.
Of course.
So we couldn't hear you, but what'd you wear on Air Max Day?
So my Air Max Day, first I wore the pink and gray Air. I think they're Hyper Dunks. They have the strap on them, the Velcro strap, and they came in a couple of different colorways. There's an orange one, those pink ones. I think they're trainers though.
Oh,
I never actually remembered because I never actually got the box.
You wore trainers for Air Max Day? Did you wear Air Maxes on Air Max Day?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
they're Air Maxes.
Okay.
I just didn't know what
How
they
high
were.
are you, Jake?
This is my audition tape for being high. So then I halfway through the day, switched to the Air Max 95, the Wolverines.
Oh, nice.
Saber-tooth tigers.
Yes.
The ones that have the fur.
Yes.
Which probably are my, I'd say, second favorite pair of shoes.
To your Weatherman foam posits.
Exactly.
There we go. We know it.
We know it. We know how you roll. You are a regular.
The first pair of Air Maxes I ever got were teal, and they were the Air Max 90s. And I found out 3 days later when I looked at the box that they were a women's 12.
Oh boy! And you're a legit men's 12.
I'm a legit men's 10.5.
Oh, okay. So then you could
got me
fit. Okay, well that's good. That's good. I thought you made the mistake that so many of us have made on eBay, where we just buy a shoe and it's like, oh, it's women's, and then you're like, oh shit, 1.5 sizes off. So
no, but I really have been trying to find those women's Jordan 5s, those like Sunrise or whatever.
Oh, yes. Ludacris wore those one time. Those ones are sick.
Love those shoes.
Yeah, those are great. Those are great. All right. Well, thanks so much for calling in, Jake. Thanks for taking part in Air Max Day. And hey, I'm just saying, I'll hear you next week.
I'm sure you'll call it next week with some boring antidote.
So now let's go up to now something that I saw that on Twitter that was pretty interesting is that on Air Max Day, a bunch of people did an anti-Air Max Day, which was hashtag no air needed.
What?
Yes. So it was Audi fans Adidas fans who don't understand Audi is for Adidasler.
Yeah.
Some Audi fans did it did hashtag no air needed. It was a guerrilla campaign. And there was the first tweet I saw with it was my man Dan from Kicks Posters who did it.
Okay.
And then, I saw it got photoshopped on all these things like billboards and like bus stops and all this stuff where it looked like legit, like they were in actual, reality. But, like it was it got quite a few retweets from people and a lot of people reposting their own things about saying, oh, I'm an Adidas fan. I don't need Air Max Day.
Yeah, so, it looks like, was this a Photoshop or was actually someone had did Adidas take a billboard out?
No, Adidas didn't take a billboard out. But that would have been really gangsta if they did that.
They did. I mean,
all over LA. That would have been really crazy if that had happened.
I mean, this looks legit though. I mean, this is like,
Oh yeah, no. It's great work. It's great work. And the thing is that in this day and age, it doesn't matter if it was photoshopped or not. If it gets passed around as though it was legit, people believe it. So,
yeah.
So we saw that go on.
It is cool to see people really, because it's almost even having a sneaker radio show. We find ourselves really talking about Nike or Jordan like a lot of the show just because of the release and stuff, and it's actually nice to see people like taking pride and respect with Adidas, and being like,
well, especially in the UK and Europe, like Adidas heads are crazy, just crazy. But I think we actually got a caller on the line
from the UK.
From the UK. That's what I saw. The country code 44. Hello, are you there?
Hey, yes.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing? You all right?
Good. I saw you calling from country code 44, UK.
Yeah, the UK. Probably first UK caller.
You are. What's your name and what city are you from?
It's Dan of Kick Posters.
Oh, hey Dan, you must have been listening live, man.
Yeah. I've not actually had a chance to listen to you this morning as I've been out with the lady, but I thought I'd give you a quick call and see how you guys are getting on.
Nice. So what time is it there?
The time over here is now just gone just 20 to 3 in the afternoon.
Oh my gosh, this is very big time zone different for us.
Yes, very different.
So I saw your tweet on the no air needed. Was that you were the first who tweeted that, right?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy what's happened with this. Really,
it's everywhere.
I'm a graphic designer, so I'm kind of ideas based kind of, and I was just sat there one day, had a little idea of, it was almost like, what would Adidas do if they were to rival Air Max Day almost, and it was just a mock-up I created in no more than 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I put it on the Instagram, and within a couple of hours it was being shared by all sorts of Adidas fans and everything.
That's amazing.
And I've actually, even this morning, had someone from Adidas Global contact me and kind of, tell me that they like the idea and so on.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. And how did this come about? Was this something you planned for a while? Was it something you just kind of did on a whim? Are you just are you a diehard Adidas fan? Are you really against Air Max? Like what? How did this come about?
Well, no, it wasn't anything that I planned really. Like I said, I was just kind of sat on my computer doing Kick Posters work, if you like, and just literally an idea that popped into my head that like I said, didn't take longer than 5 minutes.
Nice.
But I'm a massive Adidas fan. But don't get me wrong, I like Nike as well. I buy Nike trainers. I actually, in fact, picked up the infrared patch
right
yesterday.
Nice.
So yeah, it's not. I don't hate Nike or anything like that. It was just a little idea that I had, and I thought, oh, just put it on Instagram and see what kind of reaction it gets.
So kind of like, if Adi was to have a response, this is kind of like what it would be like.
Exactly that, yeah.
Love it, man, love it. I love your work too, man. Like Dan, I don't know if have you seen some Kick posters?
I have not actually.
Okay, so Kick's posters are like. There are several sneaker artists that I really love, and Dan, like, I'm so glad you called in because, like, his work is amazing, man. Like, you really have to see his stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was really impressed with just what you made in 5 minutes, which was everywhere. I really people were photoshopping. I actually thought that Adidas took out billboards like all over Los Angeles.
I'm actually quite surprised at the amount of people that commented on not only my picture but other pictures that people have shared saying. Like, no way have Adidas done this, like, this is funny, like, or, it's kind of crazy, some of the responses that people have been putting as well. But yeah, it's kind of a little overwhelming. It's kind of weird. It's like I say, it wasn't planned. It was just something I did out of just out of interest to see what people would think.
Good deal. So, what is one of your favorite Adidas shoes?
The Superstar.
The Superstar.
Just.
This is a great year for you then.
Yeah, you're having a good 2015.
Very, very good, yeah. Although it's not too good on my bank balance.
No. Dan was talking about when you're talking about sneakers being a drug. I was like, are there any harmful side effects? I'm like, yeah, the bank balance. The bank balance definitely takes a blow from.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just the idea that because we're talking about sneakers like in such detail, like we talk about it a lot when I see you, on the phone over email, but like now that we're spending so much time, like, digging deep and talking for 2 hours straight, like I'm like, it's sort of like the addiction. I've gone through waves. Like I've sort of been like, I have a lot of shoes. Like, let me just like, play with my collection. I'm going to stop buying and something just being around all these new sneakers, opening the boxes. I feel like I've fallen off the wagon.
You've fallen off the wagon. I was just going to say, so come Wednesday night, we need to have another show, which is recovery for sneakerheads.
No, seriously. Cause I went to
support group for everybody who has the addiction.
I went to, pick up the sneakers last week for the show. And, it was, I bought 2 pairs of shoes. And it was $700, and I was very tempted just to be like, you know what, it's worth it. let's just roll with it, Amex.
Sorry to interrupt. What shoes have you got in there today? Like I said, I've not caught the beginning of the show as I've been out with the girlfriend. So what have you got with you today?
So I've got on my desk the Air Max Zeros, which I saw you did an amazing poster with, by the way.
I really
what are they like? What are they like? I've not actually had a chance to.
Oh, they're so great. They are so great. Like they are a very good shoe and a great for wearing. Like not like I'm over the whole they look great. No, they feel great.
Yeah, and I love I actually said I love the inside. I love the teal. Mm-hmm. And I love on in your artwork you made the teal the background of the shoe that really makes it pop.
Yeah.
In your design, it's great.
And then I've got on some Reebok ventilators, which for me is not just one of my favorite Reebok shoes. It's one of my favorite shoes of all time, the Reebok ventilator. And they're coming back with the Ventilator Supreme from '91, which is the follow-up to the Reebok ventilator that came out in '90.
I love the ventilators.
Nice.
Yeah, and then
I'll make sure I illustrate those ones then.
Oh yes, definitely.
And I'm wearing the military blue 4s, the first release, which is why they're all cracked.
They're all cracked. Those are the 06s, aren't they, Dan?
Yeah, the 06s. Yeah.
Nice.
So these are all cracked up. But
and what do you got on your feet over there, Dan?
I've actually got the Adidas Ultra Boost on today.
Oh boy, those are amazing.
So comfy shoe. Such a comfy shoe.
And we were talking about right before you picked up. We were saying how in the States, right now, especially this week being Air Max Day, and just the constant re-releases of the Jordans. That we feel like people, at least Americans right now, are definitely in like a Nike frenzy, a Jordan frenzy. Do you feel like the UK is still like, full force on Adidas, or do you find that the Jordan effect taking over the UK too?
No, there's definitely a lot of Jordans. There's a big Adidas kind of following, if you want to put it that way, kind of, further north in the UK, up around Manchester, Liverpool, that kind of that kind of way. That's where I'm from, Manchester, so I see a lot of people who love Adidas, but overall, Jordans are probably just as loved just as much over here as probably they are in America. You still get the shoes being released on a Saturday and they're still selling out in all the UK stores. You get Nike.co.uk, that'll still sell out. It's crazy over here as well.
Wow, I was kind of hoping that it was like that you were going to say no, we're all about Adidas. Screw Nike, and then we would have had like a big sneakerhead, East Coast, West Coast situation, but with countries.
No, but I was in UK in 2004, 2005, as well as mainland Europe, and it wasn't as crazy for retros back then. It really wasn't. But I know times have changed.
Yeah, there's.
I think the following for Adidas is kind of like an older age. So I went to a sneaker event over here in the UK a couple of weeks back, and it was full of people who maybe grew up listening to Oasis and Ian Brown, and
nice.
they were 90% of the people at this event were big Adidas followers and loved Adidas and had all like the Special shoes on and all that kind of stuff. Whereas when you go younger down to, let's say, 21, 25, down to 16 or 18, these are the kids who are now online and they're following the Jordans and all that kind of stuff. So it might be split with the age in that terms of sense over here in the UK.
Perfect. Well, that's great to hear. Like there's some diversity, and I think that we kind of see that here too. People, you can almost size up someone's age based on their preference on sneakers. But boy, when you talked about when you mentioned Oasis, that brought me back, man. That brought me back to some great days of rock. So. But thank you so much for calling in. Everybody, go to kicksposters.com. Check out Dan's work. It's incredible. You got to see this stuff. Every sneakerhead needs a piece of this on his wall. Really.
Thank you.
And also, if you want to take down a brand, you can contact him at any time.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me on the show. And I believe I might be your first UK caller.
You are.
First of many, I hope.
Yes, thank you for that. All right, well, we're going to go to break. Coming up, we've got some stuff to talk about. Something that also happened here in L.A., Dan, was Reebok's takeover with Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, that was a very big day.
Yes.
And also, we still haven't mentioned the releases, so we have a lot to talk about. Stay tuned. We're not going anywhere. Nice Kicks Live. Back in a minute. Yeah, we're back.
We
are back.
I pray I'm rich forever. I pray you're rich forever.
I pray you rich forever.
I pray you for rich forever.
So we can buy sneakers.
Exactly. That's what it takes these days.
This show has been so fun so far. I feel like
it's been a blast.
It's been so much fun. This is our actual third show. If you're just tuning in, this is Nice Kicks Live, the only live sneaker show the day of releases, hosted by Matt and Dan. Matt, of course, the CEO and founder of NiceKicks.com and NiceKicksJunior.com.
And Dan Levy, you've seen him on Comedy Central, as well as you've seen him do stand-up all around L.A.
Yeah, I am also going to be hitting the road. I'm doing a full tour in May. I'm going to New York City, Atlanta, Indianapolis, Jersey, Philly. I'm going to be everywhere. So I'm going to be releasing all that information soon, but you could just hit me up at Dan Levy on my Twitter and follow me and come to a show, talk sneakers afterwards or before or on stage, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, and throw sneakers on stage.
Sneakers on
don't
stage.
Throw roses, throw sneakers at
exactly.
Dan.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be great. But no, I mean, I really have to stress it. If you're in those areas, you got to hit up Dan. You got to see his show live. He fucking ripped it down there at the Irvine Improv, which was, the Irvine Improv. It's Irvine, for those people who don't know, the crowd is kind of a little bit tough for comics sometimes.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
the OC. It depends how much wine the old ladies have had and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
people get drunk in Irvine.
Yes, they do.
They get drunk, and the way this club is that you guys came to, it was like 500 people.
Yep.
And, it's not a theater, it's still a club, but there's that many people in there just drunk, and I was like, oh, this is going to be bad. But then it ended up being great, and it was fun, and I'm going to be doing a bunch of stand-up in LA too. I'm going to be taping my comedy special this summer in LA.
Nice.
So as that gets closer, we'll be
Have you
promoting
picked out
that
your
too.
sneakers for the comedy special?
You know what? I was thinking about what sneakers to wear, but then someone was saying I should wear a suit, and then I feel like if I wear a suit, then sometimes a suit with sneakers besides maybe like the Jordan 11 lows might just look weird. So I might actually not even wear sneakers during my special. I know. Well, maybe, I guess I will. Never mind.
Okay,
I changed my mind.
Oh.
I'm going to wear the Air Max 97 since I almost lost you and Allison as friends after I said I don't love them. But you didn't let me finish. I was saying I don't love the gold ones. I like the silver ones.
Oh, the silver ones.
Ones. I don't like the gold ones. Even though you guys were, fell in love with the gold ones.
No. We fell in love over the silvers.
Oh, okay. So
Yes.
Jake was talking about his sister put up the gold ones.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, the gold ones, and you know what? The gold has gotten more and more bronze after every retro release. It's like gotten darker to where it's not metallic gold anymore. It's like just ugh. But it looks more like the foam posit stuff. But we were going to talk about Reebok and
Kendrick.
Kendrick, man.
And if you live in LA, there was a bunch of people tweeting, complaining about all the traffic. And
Yes.
I mean, people always complain about the traffic in LA
People
because traffic.
always do. I mean, it's like
Well, it is bad. It is bad.
It is bad.
I'm so used to it now that I don't care. I just know that anywhere I go is going to take me an hour, and I'll just
at
listen
least.
to the radio, and I'll listen to Dash, and I'll just like hang out and just sort of relax, make phone calls. That's basically, if you live in LA, you have to have a car charger because your phone's always dying.
Oh,
but anyways, people were tweeting like crazy. And were freaking out and saying, what the hell's going on? Highland shut down. What's happening? And I think it was actually Bass who, works here.
Yeah.
And on Twitter was complaining, and he then tweeted saying, "This is why I love LA. People are freaking about traffic, and it turns out Kendrick Lamar is just doing a live concert on Hollywood Boulevard."
Yes.
And
No.
that's Hollywood.
Yep. And Reebok had a great day with that.
They really
great day
did.
with that Z pump, and that Z pump I've heard from retailers is smoking at retail.
Yeah,
Just
no,
doing so well.
I got to say, I was really impressed. Reebok just opened a store in the Valley,
Nice.
just like a Reebok running store, and they have those pumps right there.
Dude,
and
they are hitting. Like,
Yeah.
they're a great shoe. And then there's another shoe that a lot of sneakerheads have got to be up on that's coming out in April for men. Finally, they dropped it for women and kids already, and that's it's the Fury Light, Reebok
Yes.
Fury Light. It's only $75. Like it's cheaper than a Roshi run because I think Roshis are now at 80.
Yeah.
So it's like it's cheaper than a Roshi run. It's definitely got that Roshi vibe to it. Super simplistic upper, but it's got more to it than a Roche. And
It looks really nice. I've seen pictures of it.
so comfortable too. So comfortable. And
I think Derrick Rose is in physical therapy, and I've seen pictures of him in physical therapy with those shoes. That guy.
Oh, poor dude. Poor dude. No, but they're a great one. They're a great one. But the Z Pump is killing it. And
do you think that Reebok did the Kendrick Lamar takeover because Air Max Day was coming?
I don't know, but it
I
was
think
very
so.
convenient that they kind of took over Hollywood 2 days before, Air Max Day, because it was on the calendar.
They should. I almost honestly think I'm surprised. Maybe they do in a way, but I almost think if I was at Reebok, what I would do is I would just sort of try to compete more because they could compete. Like they haven't, in my opinion, truly retroed some of the greatest pumps yet. Like the cross trainers. The original blue cross.
They tried some. They
do these crazy colorways and then they ruin the pump. In my opinion,
I agree with you on that. I think that they got to keep it OG.
They need to keep it OG, and I feel like what they do is they don't, and then they wonder why they're losing. I think
Right.
if they were really to compete, I think that they can.
Right.
Like bring back the Changs in the correct colorway. The day that the double nickels drop and see what happens.
Well, I think that they could bring them back and then do it when the timing is of the anniversary of Michael Chang.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Like tell some more stories. I mean, I would say probably one of the greatest storytellers at Reebok is Packer Shoes.
Yes.
Packer Shoes always tells stories with Reebok product in a way that is so great. And I would honestly, like, if I was them, I would work with Packer to tell a lot of the stories that they've got because he's done such a great job of it.
Yeah, because for me, if I think back, like truly, like the sneaker that is like the most nostalgic to me, the sneaker that I remember I wanted so badly, and the sneaker that I got was the OG blue colorway pump cross trainers.
Nice.
those were the shoes I remember. I wanted them so bad. I remember kids used to like rip them apart, like cut them open to see the inside. And I'd be like, I want those shoes.
And I even wanted them. I wanted those ones so badly that I didn't even. I begged my mom for the LA Gear regulators. Do you remember those?
Yes.
It was like a knockoff of the pump.
Yeah.
And you know, like it was, but I was like, well, I'm not going to get the pumps. Well, Mom, can I please have the, no. I'm like, damn it. I want like the regulators.
Yeah. Those shoes and the Maroon 6s came out at the same time.
They did.
And those, like I've talked about, like are for me, like the most important, you know, the shoes that even though like at this point I'm sort of in like a one zone, I don't even, the 6s I feel like aren't like, you know, fitting with like my wardrobe as much now, but I still love them.
Will you wear the Maroon 6s on stage for your Comedy Central special?
Yes, if they actually come out.
What if Jordan Brand actually made a special pair for Dan Levy for the Comedy Central special?
Then I would 100% wear them.
Okay, you do 100% wear them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jordan Brand, if you're listening, Maroon 6s, I will wear them on my Comedy Central special if you want to make them. But I've heard rumors this week, big time.
The rumors are floating around.
More so than ever, I feel like that they are saying that the Maroon 6s could be the December release. And I think if they do, I think they need to they need to do it right.
Yeah.
You know, they have to do it with the correct leather. They can't do this plastic bullshit.
It's got to be remastered.
It needs to be
leather.
a fully remastered leather. I think, honestly, like that's the only way they could go from now on.
No, exactly. Especially for the OG colorways. You got to do remastered or better.
Yeah, people will pay for those. I know it's crazy expensive, but I think that, you know, personally, I would rather pay for an OG colorway remastered than not.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks to swallow that pill and say I want to pay $190, but it's like I would much rather pay $190 and know that it's remastered than pay $170 or $175 and it not be.
We just went on our Twitter and we're asking people to give us a call and let us know what is your take on artists getting signature lines or become brand ambassadors as opposed to athletes who actually compete in their shoes. We already had someone respond on Twitter. So let's see what they're saying to us. They are saying, wait, no, they were just favoriting. I got psyched out.
You got psyched out. But no, we definitely see a lot of artists and entertainers, that are ambassadors. And we've talked about it before, Drake, Macklemore, guys that are Kendrick with Reebok. Obviously you have Pharrell with Adidas. I'm not even going to throw Kanye into that conversation because Kanye, it's like he's creating something. All these other guys are truly ambassadors to the brands, whereas Kanye's actually creating like a brand new thing that has his name attached to it and all that kind of stuff. But no, I think it's interesting to see that, we saw a lot of the Pharrell Superstars come out, which is like a Crayola box of Superstars.
Yes, I'm excited for that.
The thing that I would love to see is like somebody gets so upset that they can't get the exact shade of whatever pink they want. And it's like, you can have the shade that's right next to it.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I want that shade. Like,
exactly.
It's like, no, they're almost the same exact color. It's like a friggin' rainbow. You can settle for one shade off.
I know. Yeah, I know. And we went to Twitter, but really, if you're listening, give us a call. We want to know what you think. 323-230-4445. That's us in the studio. We're taking your calls to discuss, athletes versus artists getting their own signature line. I personally, maybe I'm an old man, but I kind of feel like the athlete should get the sneakers and let the artist sing about the sneakers.
Right.
I don't know. I just think like,
what about athletes getting signatures post-career? Because we're seeing that. We got the Nike Air Pippen 6 that just came out.
Yeah, I don't think, I don't think that's, I think that is just a money grab.
Yeah, it's a money grab.
I think it's a money grab. I think also, I don't know, does Pippen, I guess he's getting paid, but does he want a 6?
Right.
I don't know. It just seems like maybe now that
after he got the 5, he would definitely want the 6.
I know. It just seems like, I don't know how that works. Is Jordan Brand calling him and saying like, here's a bunch of money?
Nike would be.
Is Nike calling him and saying, hey, I know you bought 5 planes and you don't have any money, so how about we release a sneaker? That is honestly what I think is happening. That these athletes spent all their money and now they're like, all right, fine. I feel like if a brand should just sponsor an athlete who is currently playing, and if they're amazing and their sneakers are out of control, like a Kobe or a Jordan, you know,
Right.
or a
Then it
LeBron,
continues
then
on.
I think you continue past that. But I think besides that, it's like, you know, besides like
But the Penny 5 was a very successful shoe.
it was. I mean, the Penny 5 was, but
I mean, that was his first shoe in like, 12 years or something like that.
I know. I mean, I think it's more of just like a sneakerhead's dream, for these people to
Right.
release these shoes. But I just think as far as like the marketplace goes, I just wouldn't have a problem if they just sort of kept it to athletes and then, when they retired, then their sneakers retired. But I understand there's so much money now. And
Yeah.
people are just making money like hand over fist.
But
and like, why not
the
just keep
Pippen
it?
6 though hasn't been well received in the marketplace right now.
Yeah, well, I think Pippen is, I love Scottie Pippen, but I don't think the kids today barely are
Even
aware
know who he is.
Yeah, they don't know who he is. It's
Right.
like they're obsessed with Jordan Brand, not necessarily Michael Jordan.
Right.
You got to remember, it's like they're watching clips on YouTube. They're not following his games. You Google Michael Jordan and you're like 13, you see like a large man smoking a cigar with a hot chick. Like you don't know what's going on. But we have a caller. Let us know who you are, where you're from, and what sneakers you're wearing.
Hello, my name is Isaac, and I'm from San Francisco Bay Area, California.
Nice.
What's up,
going
Isaac?
on?
Yeah, so this morning I picked up the Retro 10s.
Nice. Congrats.
Double nickels. Congratulations. Did you weigh online? Did you get a bracelet? How'd it work?
It's crazy. I bought them online, and I waited for like 50 minutes
What?
online.
Wait, you didn't even like wait overnight or anything like that?
No. You waited online.
Oh, online.
See, this is something that goes back and forth with an East Coaster who says an online as though you're in line.
Yeah.
So in line, online, two different.
Yeah, sorry. My wife yells at me about that too. Anyways, sorry. So you were on the internet. I'm 100.
Yeah.
Nice. So you said 50 minutes it took to get them to add to cart?
Yeah, almost an hour I was waiting in line.
Oh my gosh, that's
But I
terrible.
got 'em, so
you
it's
got them.
cool.
You got them. Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
we would have had them in the studio if Matt didn't forget them.
Yeah,
and I
Matt-
could open up the box and smell them and look at them and see the 45, which is all we wanted.
Oh man, I know I messed that one up.
I think those shoes are going to be dope. Are you excited about them?
Yes, I am. I also picked up the, I don't know if you guys are interested in the Puma Ronnie Fieg.
Oh, nice.
Oh, the
Collaboration.
Sakuras? Yeah. Did
Yeah.
you get the mid tops?
Yes, the mids.
Nice. Yeah, those ones are good too. Yeah, the Sakura joints.
Yeah, those are great. Where'd you get those?
Through Kiss, NYC.com.
Nice.
Very
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
That's
So I had a
awesome.
question
So,
for you guys.
yeah.
So, it's crazy. I'm only 19, so I didn't really live through the first runs of Jordans back in the day. But I've been talking to a lot of old heads, and they were saying how they miss where Jordans would only release 1 month. One shoe per month.
Oh
and
man.
two, if that.
Yes.
And so with now with Jordan Brand releasing like one every 2 weeks, or not even one
Every hour in some
Every
places.
hour.
One-
Yeah.
one for grade school and one for women, so probably like 3 per week.
Right.
What is your guys' opinion on that? I kind of think of it as a positive. I want to think of it as a positive aspect, even though people are negative about it. Only because it makes people more selective.
Yep.
And gives people a chance to really customize their collection instead of having everything.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. And thank you so much for bringing that up, because I remember those days where I remember doing the Jordan release dates calendar for my old job, and for my first job, actually, working at Athletes World in Canada. I had a shoe store selling shoes and in the mall. And we had 12 releases that included retro and new releases of Jordan in 1 year. 12 in 1 year.
Yeah.
And this was like 2001 or something like that. I think it was 2001. And back then it was you could buy them all. You literally could buy them all.
Yeah.
But then as they slowly ticked up, it was kind of like, I think it was like 2005 was the first time where I was like, oh God, I can't keep up anymore. I have to just, I throw in the towel. I can't keep up and buy every single one. I have to buy what I really, really like. Now, but back then the problem was everybody wore the same shoes. Like
Yeah.
everybody, oh, Jordan 3s came out, and you always had to put them on ice.
I remember a couple years ago.
Can't be the flyest.
No, you
I
couldn't.
know. And I remember when the sevens were first retroed in like early 2000 at Nike Town. I remember, and I went in and I bought every pair that they had there. 02. And it was every colorway. It was, the OG original colors. Then it was, that really dope, like light brown, like tan, orange. Mm-hmm. Like I got every colorway. And I remember like buying them all.
Oh, you're talking about in 05 when the Pacific Blues.
Yeah, Pacific Blues.
Yes.
So there was like 4 colors that came out. And I remember I first started dating my wife. And I was like, "Call me in Nike Town. I'm going to buy 10 pairs of shoes." And she was like, "What the fuck?"
What did I sign up for?
But I remember, like in that moment at Nike Town, and I actually love all those. I love the sevens, and I actually have all those still. But I remember at that moment, I was like, "Oh, this is a problem." Like I'm like buying like a lot of shoes at once, and they all came out of the same day.
Yep.
And they're available. Of course, now people like are freaking out for like some of those colorways, but I feel like. I actually think they released too many, and I think that it would actually be nice if they were to just re-release and remaster one a month. That I think would be cool. I think yeah, people would have the same shoe, but I also feel like there's so many other shoes that are coming out. It will actually give some shine a light in some of these other great sneakers that are coming out. That Puma's doing, that Adidas is doing, that Reebok is, and I feel like and don't get me wrong, I love Jordan's my favorite shoe, but I feel like they take so much attention away from all the other great shoes that are coming out because we forget.
But as a company, though, they want to take the attention.
Of
from
course.
everybody else.
But I'm saying I'm talking from like a sneakerhead
from a sneakerhead point of view. Okay.
I feel like there's so many other great shoes to get.
Yeah.
And you just don't do it because if a shoe is $160, how many shoes could you get?
Right. No, but I think it's nice that there's still a lot of diversity and a lot of variety. I mean, at 19, do you remember most of the Michael Jordan moments that you've probably seen, you've watched on YouTube, right?
Yeah. I mean,
is there a top moment or a favorite highlight clip that you have of watching Mike on YouTube?
Growing up watching Kobe, I think my favorite moments that I watched through YouTube is watching Kobe be inspired by Michael Jordan and watching him play as a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like that's transition into Kobe and how he became in his prime and how he has those rings.
Right.
I think that was probably my favorite because, every point in time you're going to have a new star.
You
and
always
the new stars are now Kobe and then now LeBron. And whoever's, I'd say Russell Westbrook is probably the next big guy.
Right.
And
especially after
that was
the other
probably
night.
my favorite moment. Of course, I love seeing Michael ball, but seeing him transition from the greatest player and sharing it and letting the new guys come in is a great thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. And before we go, I just want to find out what shoes did you wear on Air Max Day?
Man, I wore. I kind of didn't have my favorites pick out. I would just wore my Air Max's 2014s.
Okay, those are good shoes.
Those are good shoes.
Those are comfortable as heck.
I ordered the Air Max Zeros, but they didn't come in time. They came on Friday.
Oh man, they gotta get that worked out to where you get your shoes on Air Max Day.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point?
Right, it's a day late.
Jesus. Well, thanks so much for calling. We're doing the show every Saturday, so while you're online trying to get a shoe in a cart, make sure you refresh and keep listening to the show. Thanks for calling.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Oh man. Dude, yeah, no, that I love that caller's perspective about the new stars because that's so important. Because we always talk about Mike. You and I can always talk about Mike. But for these younger kids, that are like 19 now, they were like 4 years old when Mike was finished playing in Chicago. So we can't expect them to think that they're going to appreciate the same Michael Jordan the same way, and they've got their own stars that they're going to look up to. So.
Absolutely. We started a little bit of a frenzy here by asking people what they thought if athletes should have their own signature line or if it's okay for artists. And, I was saying that I think it should be athletes, and people kind of went a little crazy. One guy said, I think it doesn't matter because the majority of people buying the shoes aren't using them for athletics.
That's a good point.
It's a very good point.
Good point. Very good point.
And then Todd Cisco said at the Batwing, he said, shoes are about fashion more than performance. Now, if Kyan tries to say his shoes are better shoes to ball in, ... Yeah, I agree, Todd. And then Todd also said, they're no different than having different colorways of a Jordan shoe for style. What does an athlete know about design? But, I don't know. My question is, even with an artist, besides Kanye, with the exception of Kanye, are artists going into these, these brands and saying, here's my idea? Or are they basically, sitting down with like their version of a tinker at different brands and they're saying, here's what we're doing for you, Kendrick. Here's what we're doing for you, Kanye. Here's what, I don't know. I think
every case is different. I think every case is different. Pharrell, he has creative abilities and he's getting creative reign, to go at it. But
there's no way 2 Chainz is coming in with the breakdown of what.
Can I put gold medal on this?
Yeah, exactly.
Gold to brace.
Exactly. Could these shoes be made out of money? I can't imagine that he has any idea what he's talking about when it comes to like a shoe design. In you know what I mean? I mean, it takes a lot of time.
2 Chainz. I heard him on the radio just this morning, and I was thinking about him with Adidas. And it's crazy because at one time we had interviewed him and he said he didn't give a fuck about sneakers, and then Adidas signed him. I was like, oh, I guess he gave a fuck about sneakers.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. It was crazy, but oh man, that was good times. Good times. Well, we're gonna go to break again. I cannot believe how quickly this time is flying by, Dan.
I know. It's crazy. We have so much. We still haven't. Okay, the last half hour of the show, we were going to talk about the releases today because we haven't
even talked about the releases.
Normally, that's what we do first, Matt.
I know.
I'm blaming you.
I'll take the blame.
Okay, when we come back, we're talking about all the releases today, what you're going to get, what you're not. Stay tuned.
We are back.
Boom, boom. Here we are. Nice Kicks Live, 8:30 Saturday morning. At this point, you probably... I guess if you were lucky, you already got your releases for the day.
I can't believe that guy had to wait 50 minutes for those shoes.
I know.
I mean, gosh, you would think things this day and age would be so much faster online.
Yeah, but he's 19. What else does he have to do?
That's true. That's true.
No, he was very cool. I like that he was repping the 2014 too. On Air Max Day, he got the double nickels. It's a good day.
Yeah.
I was kind of bummed though that he ordered the Air Max, the zeros, and they didn't come on Air Max Day. That seems like just something that Nike should have done.
Yeah.
Like, let's make sure everyone gets these shoes.
Let's have 8 a.m. delivery. So you wake up, you get your morning coffee, and your Air Maxes drop on Air Max Day. Like, they need to get those drones going. The Amazon drones. Drop those things off so they come with your morning paper.
They look so great. I guess
people nobody has a morning paper anymore, though.
No. Morning app. I'm going to have to get these.
Yeah, they're great. They're great.
Yeah,
but no.
Anyways, let's. Our producer Allison is giving us the move along.
Yeah, the move along. Talked about them enough. So other releases, those double nickels, man. The Chicago 10s came out just like 2 or 3 years ago, but it just seems like there's so much more anticipation for them this time around with the big 45 on the side.
Yeah,
and telling the story of Michael Jordan's return. And how he dropped 55 on the Knicks. I mean, what better time to do it than this year on the Knicks, too?
I know. It's amazing. I'm going to pull them up because we don't have them with us.
Yeah, because some dumbass forgot to put them in the truck.
Exactly. But I want to really sort of look. I want you to go over sort of like this release and what's different about it.
Well, the big 45 on the side is the huge deal.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are, sadly, there were a lot of people who were like, why is there a 45 on a Jordan?
Yeah, they don't get it.
It's like, they don't get it. Okay, yeah, no. So Michael Jordan came back, couldn't wear the 23, had to wear 45, which was actually, it's funny because his number 23 was inspired by being half of 45 rounded up. And that was because his older brother wore number 45 and on the high school basketball team, and he wanted to wear half of that, so he got 23.
Wow.
So when he was wearing 45, that's paying homage, really, in a way to his brother too. So how do I know? Baby, you know I've read all this stuff. And when I said baby, I was not talking to you, Dan. I was talking to my wife.
No, he was talking to me. He was talking to me. I love it. So and besides that, the colorways are just sort of the red, black, white,
classic Chicago,
Chicago colorways.
Right.
So those are pretty cool. I mean, are you going to get them?
If I can. I mean, I haven't gotten a lot of retros this year, but those ones I definitely am going to chase.
Yeah, you said you really want those. I'm probably going to skip this release, and I'm going to wait till May and get the Jordan 1 Chicagos.
Right.
Yeah, those are what I'll be getting. There's also the Vans. We got to talk about the concept Vans.
Those I think look great.
I've been actually wearing Vans, especially because with the weather's getting hot as fuck in LA.
Oh my god!
And I just been starting to rock some low Vans, and they're really the best.
But these skate highs are not to be slept on, though. I like these concepts a lot. I mean, they have like a luxurious feel to them. Like just looking at them, they're beautiful.
And how much do these Vans go for?
I didn't look at the price on those. I would guess if they're anything under $120, they're worth it. So they're gorgeous.
And who's the mastermind behind Vans these days? Like because I feel like Vans is really kind of coming. I wasn't a skateboarder, but
No, you were a rollerblader.
I was a rollerblader, and
a professional at that.
Yeah, I was an amateur pro, and when I was rollerblading hardcore in the late '90s. When the blades weren't on my feet, airwalks were.
Airwalks
were. And I remember I remember I had green airwalks, and I fucking loved them.
Were they the tennis ball ones?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, the OG gym shoes.
Yes, I love them.
Oh man,
I love those shoes.
I have a pair still.
They re-released them, and no one cared.
Nobody cared at all. Everybody was like, "What the fuck?"
Is that company out of business?
They're still sold at Payless.
They still okay. So but they actually probably make more money now than they ever did.
Yeah, probably.
Airwalk. So my point is, I never really got into the Van world because I was such an Airwalk head. But now I feel like Van is really, with their stores, with their athletes, I really feel like Vans is, they're everywhere.
Well, and on their vault line, Takahashi, he just kills it.
Yeah.
Taka kills it. Some of the creative designs he's put on Vans has just been amazing.
Yeah, I love the collaborations, but I also, and the high concepts, but I actually, what's cool about the Vans, it's almost similar to like the shells, the Adidas.
Yeah,
it's like,
classic.
They're just classic shoes.
Yeah. Especially coming here, I go so many places in Orange County, which is where Vans is from.
Yeah.
And I just see them absolutely everywhere.
Oh,
where you would see in Middle America the dad's shoes, like the Nike Air Monarchs, you see the dads wearing slip-ons or checkerboards, and it's like, you know what? I kind of like that. It's really cool when you're only about 2 miles from the beach, and at the Home Depot, the dad is walking in his grubby clothes and wearing a pair of Vans.
And they're easy, they're comfortable. Like you don't get scared if they get dirty.
No, they're not. And as my friend Joe LaPuma has said once, they're cheap and easy like an around the way girl. cheap and easy to get like an around the way girl.
Yeah, no, and you know what? It actually is nice to be able to know you can spend like $40 or whatever and get a pair of shoes that look good in anything. Vans. Right. Sometimes not to be too weird or nerdy, but the hardest part about these amazing sneakers is how you rock them.
Yes.
With as jeans get skinnier, as the shoes get bigger, what looks great with your outfit. And I would say that, Vans are a brand that you can kind of wear with shorts at the beach. You can kind of put them like with khakis, they just kind of look good everywhere, Yeah.
Unlike the Huarache. The Huarache is such a hard one to rock.
I know. And I recently got the Scream Green ones.
You got the Scream Greens?
I got the Scream
Greens.
Nice.
I knew you were talking about those.
Yeah.
You were on the hunt.
I was on the hunt. I got them, but you know what? The colorway, it's not really the OG colorway.
It's slightly off.
The green in the back it bothers me. It's like, what are you doing? You could make it right.
Right.
So anyways, I got the what they did right though is the colorway, the purple blue,
Yes.
The original,
those are perfect.
Those came out perfect. Those almost feel like they're remastered.
I always feel like the neons are the hardest colors to nail between the retro and the OG.
Yeah.
The brighter they are, like infrared, for example, it's always impossible to get the right infrared.
Yeah.
And which is why they need to have a Crayola collaboration, and then then they have the crayon that they could match it to every single time.
Exactly,
because for whatever reason, red orange has always been red orange with the Crayola. It hasn't changed in 30 years.
That's the way it goes. But these new infrared colors are terrible, and the Hirachis you can wear with shorts though.
You can rock with shorts.
You can rock with shorts.
With denim is the hardest thing. Though.
Oh yeah,
you can't do denim.
No, because then they don't look right, and then people don't know what you're wearing, and then it ruins the whole point of having them.
And then 501 denim is an absolute no-no
Yeah.
when it covers up more than half of the shoe.
I'm just laughing because I'm looking across and seeing our producer, and our producer today hasn't been with the show the other weeks, and I think he has no fucking idea what we're talking about.
It's like, what the fuck is this?
And when you just said you can't wear them with denim, he literally made a face like, "What? Why the fuck am I up this early?"
Yeah.
What are these guys talking about?
Absolutely. Well, we're doing March Madness right now. And, over the past 25 years, there have been some pretty big sneaker moments with March Madness. Of course, UConn Huskies have always brought the heat.
And I got to represent UConn because I'm from Stamford.
Yep.
Connecticut.
Stamford, Connecticut.
White people, squirrels. Deer. What's up?
Oh, man. But there have been some good teams. Ray Allen came out of there.
Oh, of course.
Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to start the list of how many great NBA players came from UConn because it'll go on forever.
And also, I actually got drafted to play for the Huskies, and I turned down.
For the rollerblade team?
For the rollerblade team, yeah. They wanted me to come on and aggressively rollerblade all through Stores, Connecticut. And I said, you know what? I can't do it, guys. I'm going to go to Boston. I'm going to do comedy.
You got to do comedy. Oh, man. But also, too, UNLV, the Running Rebels, had some great stuff. Nike used to test market a lot of product with them.
Yes.
Jerry Tarkanian, rest in peace. His teams got a lot of great love. And then, of course, you can't forget about the Fab Five. I mean, we just talked about the Hirachis.
Yeah.
I mean, the Fab Five, and just all the shoes that they had. The Air Force Maxes, the first Barclays. I mean, what they did for sneakers was just incredible.
That was a game changer. And have you seen anyone on the court that you've been impressed with their sneaker game as far as college athletes go?
For college athletes, I just say that San Diego State brings it. San Diego State as a program, those Aztecs bring it every year.
What's the rule with college basketball in terms of what you can and what you can't wear?
Okay, if you're a Nike school or Jordan school, you can wear Nike or Jordan.
Okay.
If you are an Adidas
at this
school,
point, are there just Jordan schools though,
there are
no?
a couple Jordan schools. UNC is one of them.
What is that line? Like, what is that line? Like, Nike owns Jordan Brand,
Yep.
or so Nike owns Jordan Brand, but they are two different brands.
Yeah, they're two different brands, but it's a subsidiary of Nike.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Nike and Converse.
Yeah, Nike, Jordan, Converse.
Yeah. Okay,
Nike owns Converse.
I knew that. I was just sometimes I get confused.
But nobody's wearing Chuck Taylors on court.
No one is. No, because it's funny. Why I bring it up is because in LA, there's obviously, when you're performing and or just wherever you want to get hookups,
right.
You have like everyone's got their Nike person,
yeah,
but there's a fine line of like, I'm your Nike person, but I can't get you Jordan shit. So that's why in my head I'm always like, oh, so they're two different places, and it's like, no, they are one place, but they're two different people.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly.
So no one at Jordan Brand is going to hook you up with the Air Max Zeros, and no one at Nike can get you Jordans.
No, exactly. It's like they really are two separate brands, just owned by the same group.
Yeah.
So
okay, good. Thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah, exactly.
And so in basketball, that's how it works. So it's not a free for all, because sometimes I'm confused with the basketball athletes. I'm like, are they just wearing whatever they want?
Well, they have to. No, they just have to conform with the brand. So like the kids like at San Diego State, a lot of them are rocking Heat from like years back, and they're wearing stuff that they can wear as long as it's Jordan or Nike, because it's a Nike school.
See, I'm like always impressed when these athletes are wearing like, old like retros.
Oh,
playing in those shoes, because honestly, like, I mean, and I'll say it, like the fives
I know.
I can't even walk in those shoes.
Let alone play like.
Can you imagine playing like 4 quarters of basketball in the
gosh.
5s with like the shoe? I mean, it's
I
like,
just hope that those kids have like double stacked Zoom Air insoles or something, because I don't know how they could play. All what is it? 40 minutes of ball.
Yeah, like it just seems like that's why I'm like, I mean, I don't know. I'm just sort of like, all right, God bless you and your feet, because I can't even walk down the street in those shoes.
I know. And that's the thing. Have you not noticed that the Air Jordan 5s will just rash the back of your ankle on the first like 5 wears, like to break in? Like you have to, like you will always get a horrible, like, what's it called?
Heel pain.
Yeah, heel pain. Blister. There we go. That's the word.
Thank you, Allison.
Thank you, Allison.
Yeah, no, it's true. So anyways, I was interested in, is there any specific player who you've noticed so far that has had the best shoe on his feet?
I don't know about specific player. I haven't paid enough. Honestly, this year has been a wash for me on college basketball. I hate to say it. Normally I watch college basketball like nothing else.
Yeah.
Maybe it was because my son threw a toy hammer at our main TV and cracked it. So I didn't get I didn't have a TV in the main room of the house for the longest time.
Well, it's true. When you, as a parent, like certain things you have to decide. You're like, okay, like for me, it's like, I'm just going to watch the playoffs. I'm not going to get involved in college basketball because I don't have time for everything. I got to watch Daniel Tiger. I got to watch Thomas the Train.
Umi Zumi.
Yeah. There's too many things in my life right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So like if I'm going to come and do the radio show and go online and buy sneakers and do all that stuff and watch basketball, I can't do it all.
Yeah.
There's also college basketball, and it's always fun, but it's overwhelming. Like anything that is that much, and I got to start doing numbers, and there's brackets. It's like, I just want to watch basketball and look at the sneakers.
Yeah, exactly. This is actually the first year I did not fill out a bracket.
Really?
This is the first year since I was like in the 5th or 6th grade I did not fill out a bracket.
It's just there's no time.
There's no time. But that didn't stop me from having a beer and some chicken wings, though, on the first day. So, I mean, I do have to say, I enjoy watching it more without a bracket.
Really? You're less stressed out?
Less stressed out. I mean, I just wanted to see UCI because they're just down the street, see UC Irvine, go. And so I was, cheering from the plane with no headphone jack.
Yeah.
Watching them take on Louisville and lose by, unfortunately, a bucket. But,
yeah, that was a rough one.
Yeah, that was. But no, so let me check the comments here going in. Thank you. Shout out to everybody hitting us at Nice Kicks Live on Twitter. So what is the action that people got to say today?
If you want to call us, give us a call, 323-230-4445. We're taking your calls before we end the day. Someone was tweeting at me actually about saddle soap.
Yes. So I've talked about it before.
Matt mentioned it last week, but I actually just got a tweet saying, "What is?" They are saying, "My grade 5s today are dirty. I'm upset. How do I clean them? What's the deal with
you
saddle
need the Clorox
soap?"
wipes for the bottom.
Yeah,
and saddle soap is not the best for cleaning.
Okay.
It's what I use saddle soap for is more for treating the leather to soften it. But you can use all kinds of different cleaner for the upper. I mean, there's tons. You got your Jason Marks. You've got a toothpaste. You got everything.
Yeah, toothpaste for the midsoles.
Yeah, the midsoles. You got to be careful with those.
I mean, have you? I know we have a caller, but have you cleaned your shoes with toothpaste?
Yeah,
you have.
Yeah, my wife has too.
You guys are fucking crazy.
Yeah, I know we're fucking crazy.
I've cleaned your shoes with toothpaste.
What shoe did you clean with toothpaste? 11s.
Yep.
Okay. So here's my question before we take the caller. You clean the shoe with toothpaste, and then you have toothpaste on your shoe. What do you do?
No, you just water.
That's why it's perfect, because it's water soluble.
Yeah, it's water soluble.
Allison, talk in the microphone.
Yeah, Allison, talk on the mic.
She's scared. She's
scared. She's like, no, someone's
she
going to hear
gets
my
real
voice.
serious about cleaning shoes. She's like, I don't want to talk on the microphone, but I'll tell you exactly what I'm thinking. All right, we got a caller. We have 2 callers.
Wow.
Okay, we're running out of time. First caller, what's your name? Where are you from?
Hey, is that me? Am
Yes,
I on?
it is. Yes, yeah.
How you guys doing? My name is Maurice. I'm from Atlanta.
Hey, how you doing, Maurice?
ATL.
Hey, I'm doing wonderful. I just wanted to call you guys and tell you that the show is awesome and keep up the good work.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so
we
much,
appreciate
man.
it, man.
Yeah. Show's awesome. I also wanted to let you guys know that I haven't heard much about it, but Nike Lab has been destroying my sneaker fund for like the last
Oh, my gosh. Those dunks. I missed out on those dunks, and then I wanted to get them. I wanted both colorways, and I'm like, am I going to really spend $500-$600 for 2 pairs of dunks? But
There's 3 colorways, actually.
Oh, the 3. What's the third color?
The third color was a quick strike, the burnished brown.
Oh, yeah,
those
ones.
those are
I
sick.
just wrote those off because I was not going to be able to get those.
But dunks,
I ended up getting the entire pack.
Oh, man.
I think you made the right
envious.
move. I think you made the right move.
Those
because-
are the greatest dunks in years, man. In years.
Absolutely.
And
I
dunks.
lucked up. I got the white ones, and I lucked up on eBay and caught a guy that was selling the brown ones, sub $250.
Oh, wow.
I mean, legit receipt, everything.
Oh,
But then,
man.
I saw Kick's review on the black ones.
Yep.
Phenomenal. And
Yeah.
he compared them to the band ones and how the quality was way better. And even though they were only $150.
Wow.
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 Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with dunks, honestly, in my
Not
opinion.
when and only you know what? You can't go wrong with dunks with leather like those joints have.
Yeah.
That like the leather on those
Exactly.
is legit.
Butter.
The memory foam in the collar.
Memory foam. See, you know what I love? I love memory foam in my shoes, my pillow, and my mattress. That's like where you need to have memory foam. You got to have it in those 3 places and those 3 places only.
Yeah, that's the only place.
Nike Lab is killing me. Then they got me with the patch pack. I ended up only getting the olive greens. I couldn't get the the sand color or the black ones.
Yep.
But I did get the olive greens, and then I don't know what Nike's doing about the release of the ones for Air Max Day. The Paris, I ended up getting them from End.
Oh, okay. I noticed that they didn't release online when I thought they would.
Weird. I tweeted them. And they were like, there's no date set and this, that, and the third. I just knew they were going to surprise drop it on Air Max Day.
Of course.
They do whatever they want with release. I mean, they'll change release dates. They'll do whatever they want. They're just kind
and they can't. And you can't complain.
Yeah.
You just got to buy them.
I know. And what are you going to do? It's like, I'm pissed, but I'll still buy them. Like, there's
no striking against Nike. It's like,
They literally have you by the balls and wallet at all times.
I'm going to use my Amex so they get a higher credit card discount fee instead of Visa. Like that's the only way you can get even with Nike.
Exactly. That's how I knew I had a sneaker problem. I'm a firefighter, and I mean, I literally ruined my phone because as soon as the flames go down, I'm like checking my phone for tweets from Nike.
Oh man.
That is the best thing I've ever heard.
That is awesome. So you're out. So right as soon as that fire goes out, you're like, okay, what did I miss?
I love the idea of someone being like, these shits are on fire. And you're like, where? Like, no, I'm talking about my Jordans. Oh, okay, cool.
I'm at work right now. Like, it's terrible. I'm hanging off the back of an engine right now.
Oh, my God. That is a first for Nice Kicks Live.
Oh, my God.
Well, shout out to what you do, man. Shout out so much for you protecting your community, putting yourself in danger, just to protect all of your citizens there in Atlanta. That I commend you for, man.
Protecting your community and hurting your wallet every day.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you guys and what you do. And a lot of guys like me who can't get to televisions, I use this online content to, stay submerged in this culture I love.
That's
it's
what's
tough
up.
Being, having regular income, but between you guys and a bunch of the YouTubers out there, Auntie and Heskix and Mr. Bostic and not to mention that great Jordan encyclopedia. That's a whole nother discussion.
Oh my goodness, is it ever? Have you seen Bostic's sneak peek yet?
Absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely.
man.
I follow him, and like I told you, he's the one who put me onto the Jordan encyclopedia that Jay Lawrence put together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Awesome.
Phenomenal.
Awesome, man.
So,
Cool.
thank you guys. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm definitely going to try to call in again next week. I mean, I'm a regular listener of the show, and I love what you guys are doing.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you again. All right.
Good luck.
Good luck, man. Okay, we got someone else on the line. What's your name? Where are you from?
New York. Matt, what's going on? It's Jared.
Hey, Jared. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Oh, unfortunately, I'm looking out my window, and this is supposed to be spring, but it's snowing again.
It's snowing again.
Again?
In New York, like it doesn't stop.
Move. Get out. Get out of the city.
Okay, so for those who don't know, Jared works with us at Nice Kicks. He's a writer on the site. He also does Sneakerhead Sneaker Stalker, Dan,
Yes.
which is like your favorite column.
That's
now.
my favorite column.
Because you're like,
I appreciate that.
you know,
Yeah.
you can get in the mix. Anybody can get in the mix on that.
I love it. I love that. That honestly,
Yeah.
that's my favorite column. It's so fun seeing what everyone's wearing every week. I love it.
Yep.
Good job.
Thank you. I mean, that was the whole premise was, I mean, as much as I used to be a fan of trying to see what Kanye was wearing or see what foams Wale was going to break out, it was like, I still felt like I still consider myself an everyday sneakerhead.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I felt like we really needed something that we could actually call our own and actually enjoy and look forward to.
Right.
So to be able to just have a direct line to the community, and it's just as simple as just using the hashtag on Instagram on your pictures, that's your guaranteed entry into the segment. So it's just
beautiful.
something that I thought would be fun and just kind of rival the celebrity sneaker stalker column, playfully rival it, but at the same time still establish Nice Kicks and the brand within the actual community and with the people who actually click and look at the links, and just to kind of give back to them and show them like we actually care about you. You do exist.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I think you nailed it on the head, because for me, like the community, the readers, that's what makes Nice Kicks Nice Kicks. Like if people ask me what's my favorite thing, like, oh, you got to meet Tinker, or have you met, Kobe, you got to meet Kevin Durant. I'm like, no, you know what my favorite part of this job is? This quote unquote job is meeting the people who log onto that site. Meeting those people who read the site, who love sneakers. That is the best part of this job. And now with this show, sorry, Dan, it's not getting to talk to you every week. It's my favorite part of this show is getting to talk to all of you. Getting to talk to all of you. I love you people. I love you guys. You guys are what make me flow. You guys are what make me tick. This is what I live for. And
it definitely should be. It should be about the people.
It is. It is, man.
And the people definitely drive that segment, and it's just an honor to be able to. It's just so cool to be able to see the diverse levels of fashion just with everyday people. And honestly, some of the regular people are a lot flyer than some of the celebrities.
Oh, well, that's what I was going to add to your column. What I notice is that a lot of celebrity, on Celebrity Sneaker Stalker, and not to hate on that column, but what happens with celebrities, they get a lot of free shit. I feel like there's a lot of celebrities who are like, I'm a sneakerhead, but like you're not. You just got a free pair of Jordans at some dress, at some sort of event, and then you get to wear some dope like shoes on the street, and we get a picture of you. Where I feel like the real sneakerheads are just the regular everyday people who are maybe they're not like hype beasts, or maybe not they're not online every single weekend or in line every single weekend or just getting every shoe, but they have heat, and heat meaning what meaning what means to them.
What it means to them.
And I think that's what's important, because a lot of times on your column you're seeing like actually like dope shoes. And what I like, and you actually made me think about this more. I don't even know if you remember you did this, but when we were shooting a segment months ago, Jake, who calls in every week, he showed up to the set to help out, and he was wearing his 11s. His OG colorway 11s, and they were completely beat up, destroyed, like literally like the worst. And you said you're like, I love people who really wear their shoes, and I think that's what your column's all about. And I think that's and that's what's real,
Yep, absolutely. So what do we got? So can you give us any sneak peeks into what's coming up for Sneakerhead Sneaker Stalker? What we should look out for coming next week?
Next week, I would just say there's a lot of character, and that's one thing that I do appreciate. I appreciate that more than the actual shoes. I mean, anybody can throw on an exclusive or OG or one of their grails, and you just look at the shoe and be like, oh shit, that shoe is crazy. Right. But I feel like the picture and the character in the picture actually makes the whole outfit look dope. It makes the shot. It brings the whole thing to life.
That's right.
And with this next one, there's definitely the people are definitely given a lot of character. A lot of the shots are really dope.
And you got people from all
really
around.
Creative.
You got some people all around the world too, because I think I saw before you had some people from Amsterdam, from Germany. Oh, yeah. Like you got people all around the world contributing to this hashtag.
And that's
the hashtag is everywhere. I mean, even with the very first one, with the inaugural post, like I had people here in New York in the snow. I had people in Boston buried in the snow, and they literally like, I got to go outside and take a picture for this because I want to be on Nice Kicks.
What do you do
from there? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what do you do in New York when the weather is so bad, right? What do you wear?
Honestly, I could be cliche and say, I lace up my Timbs, but I go outside in my Bread Ones. Those are literally my all-purpose, my everyday, just lace them up. Don't care if they get dirty. I'm not cleaning them. Just throw them on, and I'll slip and slide a little bit on the ice, but I will have those Bread Ones on.
You know what we need to do? You know what I need to do for next week's show is give people a quick tutorial on how to get salt stains off their sneakers. Because I ran into that All-Star weekend because I wore my Bread Ones out into the snow and I got salt stains. That was the first time I ever experienced salt stains on leather. And I did some research. And I found some good ways to remove salt stains. We'll talk about that next week because we're already running out of time. But before we go, Jared, tell them what hashtag they got to do. They got to show everybody to get involved with Sneakerhead Sneaker Stalker.
All you got to do is use the name of the segment. It's hashtag Sneakerhead Sneaker Stalker. Throw it on your pictures, and I promise you, I will try to get to you. I mean, there's about 2,500, close to 3,000 tags. People have already used.
Wow, Jesus! That's around the world too.
I spend my days sifting through it, I'm looking for you. So use the hashtag.
There we go. Oh, man.
All right, well, thanks for calling in.
Thanks for calling in.
Stay warm. We have one more caller, then we got to end the show. I feel like people are just waking up and realizing they want to talk about sneakers, but that's what happens.
Thank you, Jared. We'll talk to you soon, man.
All right.
Be good.
All right, last caller of the day. Who are you? Where are you from? And what do you want to talk about?
I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
Hey, Detroit, how are you doing?
You must be cold, too.
Yeah, we're freezing. We're freezing. What I was calling for is I was trying to locate the Jordan 11 Gamma in a size 10. Would you still happen to have a pair?
We do not, unfortunately. Those ones were gone, baby, gone the day they came out at the shop. The best place I can recommend, because there are a ton of fakes of those on eBay, is unfortunately Flight Club is one of your best shots because you know you're going to get it, or from Riff. Riff.la, RIF.la is another place to look. Usually the prices on Riff are a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like when I need a sneaker very badly, I just go straight to Flight Club just because, like, you know, you're going to get what you want. You're going to pay $1,000, but, you know, they only, I mean, I've sold them a bunch of shoes, and they only, like, if they even, like, find a hair on a shoe, they're like, nah, bro. Fuck this shoe.
Not going for it. Yeah.
So, So basically, if I would go on vintagekicks.com and find those shoes, and that's the best. That's the safest place to do it, I would say.
Now, if you're in Detroit, do you shop with Burn Rubber there in Royal Oak?
Burn Rubber? No, I don't.
Oh, you got to look them up. So they're called Burn Rubber. Their website's Burn Rubber Detroit. That's my man Rick and Roe who own that shop. They're good people, really good people, right there in the heart of Detroit.
Okay, sounds good. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. That's what we're here for, to connect people together with sneakers.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck. Get those Gammas.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
You too. All right. Well, Dan, can you believe that we've gone for 2 hours? This is what happens every week. We're like, 2 hours? We've done 2 hours of talking sneakers, and we still, you know what?
We only really talked about like one of the releases, but whatever. We'll get to it. We'll get to it next week. Next week, we'll also, just because for the people watching this, next week, Matt will bring back in the double nickels, and I'll hold them up, and we'll smell them, and everyone will be excited.
Yes, everybody will be so excited about that.
Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for all the callers. We really appreciate you guys tuning in and calling us, and we're hopefully able to answer your question or just talk about sneakers.
Absolutely.
We'll be here next week, same time, same place. I'm Dan Levy. This is Nice Kick Live.
You know what? They're raising the music on us. It's like Grammy time.
I know. We got to get the fuck out.
We got to get out. Get out. Nice Kicks Live.